Order. Chad, you mind doing the roll call?
Yes, sir, Judge. Ms. Blackman.
Here.
Mr. Curtis. Here. Mr. Fiscal. Here. Mr. Fogle. Here. Mr. Well. Here. All present, Judge.
Lost some committee members this past week. I'd like to take a moment of silence for Mr. Diddle Mattingly, Mrs. Huffman, Kenny Browning, Ann Bandy Sandusky, Devon Porter, and Miss Mary Ellen Ritchie. It's former Judge Executive's wife, John G.'s sister, and Chad's aunt. So please take a moment of silence. Thank you all. Appreciate it. First item on the agenda is consider approval of minutes of the last meeting that was held Thursday, February the 20th, 2020.
Motion. Second. Mr. Kirkland.
Yes.
Mr. Bishop. Yes. Mr. Fogle. Yes. Mr. Well. Yes. Ms. Blackman.
Yes.
Unanimous.
I want to jump around a little bit. We're going to go to item B. We have Mr. Chris Bennett, who has been, I just kind of want to start out by saying Mr. Coy Need is the current electrical inspector that we have in Marion County. Mr. Need has done a wonderful job in the past, how many years has Coy been here, Chris? You have 6 years. And Coy's decided to retire. He's going to basically finish up what he started here in the county, and he has highly recommended Mr. Chris Bennett to fill his spot, and it is something the court has to vote on to approve. So, Chris, if you'd like to say a few words.
Well, I'm Chris Bennett. I have been in the electrical field for 25 years. I was a self-employed electrician for 20 years, and I've been an inspector for 6. And basically, years ago, Coy picked me to replace him, and he trained me, and one at a time I took over the counties that he was working in, and I've worked with Mike Shannon a lot too. I know him very well. And I'm about electrical safety and education now. Would you all have any questions for me?
Where did you say are you from Campbellsville or?
I'm actually from Columbia.
Columbia?
Yeah. I'm not opposed to moving over here though if I need to. Yeah.
Well, we welcome you.
We'd love to have you.
Actually,
Yeah.
I'd kind of like to live maybe in the northern part of the county, be a little closer to Danville, a little closer to
They
Bardstown.
got a place for sale.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We'll see how this works out.
Are you gonna keep the same days as Coy?
I am. And I'm going to try to keep everything as close to the same as what Coy's been doing. I've done that in all my other. Now I'll have to be over here probably a few other days at times, but for the most part, he was here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm going to do the exact same thing. And I inspect in most of the counties the southern counties that touch Marion. I work in Casey and Taylor, which I've got a guy that I'm training that's going to take some of that area, so that way I can devote more to this area.
How many counties will you have?
I'm going to get down to, I'm going to try to work in Adair, Taylor, and Marion. Right now I'm working in Casey and Russell and Greene, and I've already got a guy that's replacing me in Greene. He's already, we've already went through this over there with him, and so I'm hoping to be 2 to 3 counties is what I'm hoping for. I just can't be everywhere at once.
We'd like to see you stay that busy because it means it's good for us.
Well, yeah, and you know, we've got a good economy now, and I've got some cards. I'll pass them out to you all if you don't mind. And if there's ever a question, that's the main thing. There's a lot of misunderstanding when inspecting. Like I had a county judge call me one time about not giving power to a mobile home, and it's because you have to have a septic system in Kentucky to get power, and most people aren't aware of that law. And there's some things like that people sometimes don't know about.
They didn't used to have that.
We did not used to have that. No, that is probably a 15-year-old law now.
We're real good about enforcing it.
Well.
We work on the safety side of things, and you don't put nothing in if we don't have a rubber stamp.
That's right, and that's actually a good thing for society. That's good for all of us. But it does cost, septic expenses are expensive. Any other questions?
How are you gonna get paid? You're gonna pay as you're doing inspection, or you're not gonna be on a salary, are you?
No, and the same fee, same fee, that's what I'll use, whatever. Coy actually gave me a schedule, and I think it's been in place. I think Mike Shannon, when he was in, is when they set those rates. And I believe it's set by the fiscal court, and I think it's supposed to be an ordinance.
I'm sure it's what we have in place for.
Yeah.
Can you just maybe explain us the inspection fees, what you get, so people kind of understand that?
Yeah, I think it's $55 for most inspections, and then there's a $20 permit fee. So if I come out to your house at $75 the first trip, and then like $55 or $50 a trip after that.
So you do a initial inspection, and you do a final, is that correct?
Yeah.
Typically, most of them are two-step.
Well, it depends on what you're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a mobile home is normally one inspection. A house can be anywhere from 2 to 4, depending on if you do a temporary service, that's an inspection, and then a rough-in inspection. Sometimes people will want the main power turned on before the house is, that's optional, and then a final inspection.
Well, we only have 2 inspections, that's electrical and we got a septic permit, so anything else you can help out with, appreciate it.
There's plumbing and HVAC too now, but the plumbing is based on the amount of acres, where there is no exemption for electrical inspections. I think if you own 10 or more acres, you don't have to have a plumbing inspection, the way Kentucky law is. And any new HVAC system that's put in has to be inspected.
Does a plumbing inspector do, who does HVAC? They got their own inspector?
They do, they've got their own inspector. I think Earl Sandusky is doing the HVAC and plumbing now in the county, if I'm not mistaken.
I know he's a plumber. I
think there's a different guy doing the HVAC.
Okay, is Shannon working over here? Bobby Worth's son-in-law?
Yeah, I think he's doing the
Yeah.
HVAC.
Jason DeMurray was, I think, and he's moved, he got into building inspection, but I'm not exactly sure who's doing your HVAC. But I think Earl Sandusky is doing HVAC in some counties. Now that's all controlled by the state, whereas I'm not a state employee. Those other trades are done through the state. I guess the reason why the state has never done that is because they would have to hire so many more people. There's so much more electricity that goes on than plumbing and electric for some reason.
We had an issue back a few years ago that people were using temporary services as permanent and never convert them over. I know we had Mike Shannon come in here and talk to us.
Yeah, and that's a common practice, If you're down on your luck, you don't really want to build. It's very expensive. And a lot of people they'll get into building a project and they'll run out of money. And then they'll want to live there with the house unfinished. That's pretty common.
Yeah.
In some places.
But we never could determine whether or not it was legal or not legal, or a lot of them are trying to use that to control what goes beside you. I think we don't have county zoning, so that was what some of these folks were doing in these.
I think that would probably, you all should set an ordinance if you, like for temporary wiring is good for 1 year or 6 months. And then that way you could control it. If it's a major problem, I don't know if that's that big a problem for you all or not, but you can understand if somebody's got a real nice home and then somebody starts a house and never finishes it.
Or puts a shack of some sort.
And these little storage buildings that they sell, these little portable storage buildings, that's very common now. People want to buy those and set them up as a house. And some are very nice, really nice. There's some Amish in Mansville that build those and ship them all over the country, and I've inspected those for years, and they're really nice. But then other people, they just try to get in there,
Exactly. Last, any questions?
When do you take them? 28th?
May 28th, I think.
Oh, is that when it is?
He said that his resignation's effective May 28th.
Okay. I think he'll want me to start before then, but that's totally up to Coy. whatever Coy wants is what we'll do. But I think he has to give you all 3 months 3 months notice. But he's gonna finish all his inspections, so he's gonna be here for a good long while.
Yeah.
He'll be here the rest of the year, I would think.
He said possibly a year, because he
Yeah.
started some big
Yeah.
jobs. So.
Right, and I've told him if I needed to run by and look at something to help him out, I would. Coy's really helped me out a lot. He's been really good to me.
Been really good to the whole county.
Yeah, he's great. Well, like I said, I was an electrician for 20 years, and by far he was the best electrical inspector I've ever worked with. And that's why I got into it, is he got me into it. And I try to help young people myself, and you know, we need to help everybody we can, I think.
Well, I can relate to him. He helped my son with his test past week, so I appreciate him offering some classes and helped him out. So.
I've worked with Earl Sandusky's son some, and Bud Griffith that works for Intercounty.
Yeah.
His son passed his test the other day. I helped him. Kirby Blandford's son, one of his sons, I helped him a couple years ago. Which there's probably some more.
Well, I had a lot of good references. I called several different ones. I didn't hear anything negative. So.
Now at times I do step on toes. Don't mean to, don't want to, but I have to.
Yeah,
you know,
that's part of the inspection.
yeah,
process.
it is. If I just said yes all the time, then the electricians would come in and complain on me. You know, I feel like I really answer to them, the professional electricians, more than anybody, because they're trying to make a living by doing electric work. So I have to work with them. I want them to do a good, safe job. I want whoever's paying them to get their money's worth.
Do a good job, safe job.
Absolutely, absolutely. And but I have to keep their schedules, because construction has got a schedule. You know, and I can't say, well, I'll be there in a couple of weeks. I can't. You know, a lot of times I can't. I have to be there. So that's just all part of it.
All right.
Okay?
Anybody else got any questions?
Thank you. Thank you for coming over.
Oh, thank you all. Thank you all.
Need a
Motion to our, Mr. Bennett, take the place they want to do. Mr. Boyle? Sure. Mr. Bishop? Yes. Mr. Blackson?
Yes.
Mr. Rhodes?
Oh, okay.
Mr. Kirk? Yes.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Chris, thank you.
Do you want me to sign a contract today, or?
We'll get Lisa to get us something together.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Item number 2 is to consider approval of maintenance service agreement contract with Jody's Business Machine in the amount of $480. I think that's for the EMS, printer, is that right, Rob?
Yeah. Second. Mr. Bowles? Mr. Bishop? Yes. Mr. Kirk?
Yes.
Mr. Coyle? Yes. Mr. Blackman?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Item number 3 is to consider approval of a resolution to accept the old Kentucky 49 road beds and new connector into the county road system. This is the area that they're currently working on Highway 49 going towards Loretta. Part of that road is going to be removed. Part of it's going to be a cul-de-sac. There's going to be a couple new entrances put in. Jimmy and myself went down there the other day and looked at it. They need this approved before they complete it. So, but before we actually take it over, it will be resurfaced. Yeah, it will be resurfaced. Yeah.
All will be repaved before.
But,
Motion, need a motion on that, you say, or?
yeah,
Motion to accept 049 and reconnect into the county road system. Mr. Coyle? Yes. Mr. Pope? Yes. Mr. Blackman?
Yes.
Mr. Kirk?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop? Yes. Unanimous.
next item is just strictly a review item. It's review the county proposed asphalt resurfacing list. Jimmy has prepared a list, I think, and let you all look at it. These are hopefully the roads that need it. You know, a lot of counties do it differently. I think we do it the right way. I think we go by the need, not by the percentage of miles or in your district. It depends on the need of the road is the proper way to do it. I feel like that's what we do. Some years, Magistrate Bishop's Road might get more roads than Magistrate Kirkland and vice versa. So we we try to grade these roads. Jimmy rides them with the magistrates, and they, it seems to work pretty good. So I just want you all to look at that list, and if you have some concerns, let us know. Item number 5 is to, is it 4? Yes, number 5, consider approval of 7 voluntary litter abatement groups for 10 miles each at $100 per mile, group list and the solid waste department report. Keith has those in his report.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Kirkland.
Yes.
Ms. Blackman.
Yes.
Mr. Coyle.
Yes.
Mr. Bishop.
Yes.
Mr. Bowman. Yes. Unanimous.
Item number 6 is to consider approval of the declaration of surplus equipment and property on attached road department list. That's the wrong one. No, that's right. Road department list approval would include advertising and bidding process. We've got a list of stuff here that you all can look at, and we're going to advertise it in the paper. Take bids on it. That's what we're going to do.
Any action on that today, or just
Just need permission to declare it surplus and to advertise for bid.
motion to declare it surplus and advertise for bids for surplus equipment? Mr. Coyle? Yes. Mr. Bowman? Yes. Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Ms. Blackman?
Yes.
Item number 7 is to consider approval of budget transfer in the amount of $100,000 to the detention center and $30,000 to EMS.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Bishop? Yes. Ms. Blackman?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Coyle? Yes. Unanimous.
Item number 8 is just a review as well. Senator Higgins sent me this. We have a gentleman that's probably deserving of a road naming. That was had a huge achievement, Medal of Honor, and he hasn't had much recognition. It's Private Henry B. Mattingly. If you guys want to look at it and think about where we can do this at, I think it's appropriate that we do. He asked us to look at it and try to find somewhere for this. So just review this, and at the next meeting we'll try to determine what road we're going to do for him. It's an interesting read. The 4 pages of it is. He's kind of in this from the St. Mary's and the Raywick area, so it's something good to look at.
This be either a county road or a private road, either one, or
Whichever we want to do, yeah. We're going to go down here to department reports. Jimmy?
I need to get some tiles put back in stock. Total was $2,451.70. Been putting several in.
motion.
Second.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Fogle? Yes. Mr. Coyle? Yes. Ms. Blackman?
Yes.
We talked about the blacktop report. So y'all, we're gonna have to go. Been working on some gravel roads, getting them back in good shape. As y'all know of anything, everything else is good.
Spring rains hit, then you'll be busy.
Anybody got anything for Jimmy? That's good, Jimmy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Keith left a report.